What's up again there, guys? Brian here at 3Tier, and welcome to another episode of People's Questions, where I answer all the questions that have been sent to me over the last week. Before I get into start answering some of these questions, I'd just like to give you a heads up reminder, like always, that if there was a question that you sent in the comment section of the last episode and you don't hear it in this video, just be sure to check the comment section of the last video, because chances are the answer is located there. So jumping into the first question, coming from Santiago Scarpino. You want to know, is there any game that is exclusive to a Nintendo or Microsoft console that I would like to play? And the answer is probably no. And the reason for that is because when it comes to Microsoft, do they have anything outside of Halo and Gears? The answer is no. And I tried playing those on the Xbox One when I used to own one, and I was thinking, if this is the best competition, or if these are the best games that this system is going to spit out in its lifespan, which apparently it is, or was, I'm not impressed. And when it comes to Nintendo, I just think that Nintendo is for kids. Now, I know that a lot of adults play it, and that's fine, but I'm just saying that for me personally, I kind of outgrew Nintendo, and like the last Nintendo console I ever enjoyed playing was Nintendo 64, which I still have, and I would still play it. So like if they ever came out with like a Nintendo 64 mini or a classic, because I know that they did release like a classic NES and a classic Super NES. If they did that for N64, that's definitely something I would pick up. But just in terms of exclusives, no. If I wanted to play an exclusive, I would just download an emulator or just pull out my old console, plug it up, and play it. So I think I'm pretty good as of today. Next question comes from All-Star Gamer Punk, and speaking of classic consoles, you want to know what would have been the 20-game lineup for the PlayStation Classic. Well, I'm not going to go over what the 20 games I would pick. Well, what I will say about the PlayStation Classic's lineup of games is I'm not all that impressed. There's certainly a number of key games that they left out, and there was a number of additions they added that made just no sense, because even in their prime, some of those games were clunky and bad. And it also was really surprising to me that they didn't even give us the analog PlayStation 1 control. They gave us the original that didn't come with the analog. And I think most of us can agree that for some of those games, especially like some of the fighting and even the driving games, we would prefer to use a joystick rather than using the analog buttons. But heck, that's just me. Next question comes from Demetrius Pufer. You want to know, do I think that Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth could master Form 7 Juyo / Jaybad? Jaybad, hell no. Even he couldn't do that. No, he's too psychologically unstable for that. But Juyo, Juyo is such a difficult form to pull down, and I just think that in his case, it's not worth the risks. Because it is, put it like this, I would say that classic Sephiroth is closer to Juyo than Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth, in the sense that it's a total offensive form that lacks defense. So you kind of would suffer the Akuma effect, in which, for those of you that don't know, Akuma in Street Fighter is definitely one of the physically more powerful characters, but what he has in strength, he really lacks in durability. If someone can get a good combo going, you can really take down an Akuma really, really quickly. And so, essentially, Jaybad turns you into a glass cannon. You can do a lot of damage, but you can't take the punishment. And I don't think Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth really benefit from that. I think he's doing just fine with what he's doing. Which is why I think that Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth is a much superior version than canon Sephiroth. Next question comes from Cassie J. Williams. You want to know, what do I think of the upcoming Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse movie? Well, I'm definitely pumped up to go see that. What I'm most looking forward to seeing about that film is just learning and getting to know the other versions of Spider-Man that I'm not too familiar with. I mean, I'm aware of, Peter Parker and Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy, but these other versions of Spider-Man, I'm not too familiar with, so I'm hoping to use this film as a learning experience and seeing them interact. I think it's going to provide some of the best moments throughout the whole film. Next question comes from DPman39 or /Deporia 1979. Interesting name. And you want to know, how would I feel if Dante was in Smash Bros. Ultimate, and if I could add anyone, who would I add? if you were to put Dante in a Smash Brothers game, he would definitely stand out, but I personally don't see anything wrong with that. And in terms of who would I add, I don't know who I would add. I'm not a Smash fan. Literally, the last time I played a Super Smash Brothers was on the Nintendo 64, and I think I was in maybe 6th grade, but yeah, I haven't played a Smash Brothers in so long, so I don't really have much of an idea of who I would add because I'm not a fan of it. Next question comes from Jaybad. You want to know, am I surprised by the massive success of Red Dead Redemption 2? I personally do not care about its success because I'm never gonna play it, and I'm openly stated that the first Red Dead Redemption is probably one of the most boring video games I've ever played. I couldn't even get past the first hour, and I hated it. And just seeing a friend of mine play it, because I saw her play it a little bit on Twitch, and my God, it looked even more boring. I was like, I'm glad that people like it so much. I'm glad that, apparently people's anticipation for this game have been reached, but I probably would have ended up hating this game, and if I couldn't even get past the first hour of Red Dead 1, I don't think I'm going to survive 30 minutes of Red Dead 2, so I don't really care about its success. I mean, there's a lot of games that have massive success that I don't really care about, and this is just another one of those games that's on that list. Next question comes from Brady Burt, and you want to know, have I ever played Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII? Hell yes, I've played it and I own it. In fact, give me a second. Hang on a second. Yeah, there it is. In fact, I happen to actually own an original copy of it. This actually would be something cool I'd like to stream one day. Maybe you guys would like to see that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. But personally, my thoughts on Dirge of Cerberus, I liked it. I did think it was when you really think about Vincent's position within the franchise, he's definitely one of the most mysterious characters out of the bunch. So I guess having him have his own game and having it be a third-person shooter did fit pretty well. And I personally really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Dirge of Cerberus. I even like their two main songs, which I thought were cool. Next question comes from V Blader 1. You want to know, if the main timeline of Final Fantasy Sephiroth were to drop his cockiness and start incorporating more magic into his offensive, how significantly would he jump as a combatant? If he dropped all of that, then ostensibly what you get is Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth, which I think is the perfect version of what he would be. I've openly stated in the past that I think that there are 5 characters that could challenge him and only 3 that could beat him. But Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth is a completely different animal. He doesn't suffer from any of those weaknesses that canon Sephiroth does. So if you want to see exactly how I personally would view Sephiroth, just look at Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth. That is my Sephiroth. That is the one I think is definitely a significantly more greater threat than canon Sephiroth. I mean, it's not to say that canon Sephiroth is bad, but he has a number of key weaknesses that Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth doesn't have. Next question comes from Notorious 1972. You want to know, would I rather have the physical enhancements from the Mako experiments up to Soldier First Class, or be a demigod like Kratos? I gotta go with the Mako experiments. I think having those abilities is a little bit more flexible. I mean, with a demigod, I mean, you can still be killed, but just abilities wise, I've been more impressed with what I've seen from members of Soldier than what I've seen from Kratos. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kratos is a immensely powerful demigod, but there are several demigods that don't have those abilities. But if we're talking just Kratos, then I just think that there's a number of disadvantages. But that's why I would stick with the Mako experiment. And the last question of the episode comes from really weird name, and you go by the name of the Turkey of Neo Gotham. Don't know what to say about that one, but you wanted to know, If I were given the option to choose the skills and abilities between Chris Redfield and Leon S. Kennedy, who would I pick and why? Easy. Leon. No question. The difference between Leon and Chris is what I've been saying for years. Chris is more of a soldier, while Leon is more of an agent, and therefore, as a combatant, I feel he's much more creative, and he can operate better on his own. Chris, as a soldier, always performs better when he's fighting alongside someone, and when he's fighting by himself, he's always had significant troubles. That has never really been the case for Leon. Now, I know that in Resident Evil 6, Leon does have a teammate, but he has proven that while he's on his own, he can perform even better. And I think that his training as being trained by members of the president and just who he works with is just a much better support network than what Chris is going to have to deal with. So yeah, I would pick Leon 10 out of 10 times, no question. And with that, those are the questions that I was able to answer for this particular episode. I'd like to thank all of you that sent your questions in, whether you heard them in this video or not. If you guys have any more questions you'd like me to answer in next week's episode, be sure to type them in the comments down below. But make sure to get them into me for next Wednesday, roughly around noon before start to filming the next episode. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.